Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the interbubs. This is ReNDoG coming at you from deep underground in this Let's Play Minecraft Survival series. How you guys doing out there today, man? You guys having a good day? You guys in the mood for some Minecraft survival? My goodness, my friends, I'm having an absolutely glorious day. Thank you for asking. It's been a fantastic morning, man. I have been deep underground here in the mines of the dog, doing some branch mining. Managed to collect for myself so far about 35 diamonds, a whole bunch of iron, a smidgicles of gold, and a whole bunch of other building materials, which is sweet. And I also managed to discover this zombie spawner over here. I haven't had a look in the chests, so I thought what we'd do is we'd kick things off today together, cranking open a chest in Minecraft Survival. Oh, a dungeon chest anyway, and we might be able to get ourselves another mending book here, which would be amazing. We've only got one mending book tool at the moment. Would be excellent to get a little bit more mending going. Also going to collect the mossy cobblestone. I've seen some of you guys asking, Ren, why do you collect mossy cobblestone when you can just make it? Well, we've got a rule in this series, guys. We are not allowed to craft mossy cobblestone because in my first series of Minecraft Survival, mossy cobblestone was not actually craftable, and it is my favorite building block in Minecraft. So paying homage to my first series, I don't craft mossy cobblestone, I only collect it. Anyway, I've been having such a great day, guys. For the last hour or so, I have been strip mining, as I said, and before that, I had a little bit of a breakfast date with a certain somebody in this world that I love. And that certain somebody, well, it was the sun in the sky. You see, for the very first time in what feels like half a year, it is a beautiful sunny day in England today, man. The sun is shining, it is nice and warm, and I woke up early this morning and had a bit of breakfast and some coffee in my little garden outside, chilling with the sun on my face, baby. Oh man, it felt amazing. It has been a long time since I felt the sun on my face here in England, and it kind of reminded me about my very first job that I applied for all the way back in South Africa many years ago. I wanted to tell you about that in today's episode. But let me crank open these chests over here, guys. Also going to be working on some more redstone today in the Blacksmith Hole. So it's going to be a really awesome episode. I'm super excited about it. Hello, zombie. What's happening, my dude? Listen, I've had the sun on my face for about an hour, and I don't even worry about the undead right now. I am one happy human being, man. Let's get a torch under there, too, just to stop any more zombies spawning. Shall we have a look at what's in the chests? Oh, please, baby, give me a mending book. What do we got? A bit of iron, a little bit of redstone, a normal golden apple, which is awesome. We'll take that. A bunch of other stuff that we don't really care about. And a Thorns 3 book. Thorns 3 is not bad. I'll take it. I'll take it. And let's crack open the final chest. Oh, no mending books in here, but a little bit of horse armor. Also, a record. The music disc C418 Cat. I don't know if that's a rare one. I think that is a rare one. Either way, we'll take the record. Thank you, dungeon, zombie dungeon of doom, for not much. But listen, it's been great hanging out. You can just chill there in that cage. You must be getting dizzy, man. Seriously, I do not envy you. Anyway, guys, let's get all of this jazz back to the mole hole and back to the blacksmith hole. We can start doing some smeltage and start working on some redstone there in the blacksmith hole. But yeah, guys, today's sunny expedition for me in real life reminded me a little bit of my first job that I applied for in Cape Town. When I finished university in South Africa, I moved to a city called Cape Town, which is all the way at the southern tip of South Africa. It's an absolutely amazing city, beautiful, beautiful place. It has a massive mountain in it called Table Mountain, and it is truly one of my favorite cities in the entire world. Really, really beautiful out there. And when I finished university, I moved out to Cape Town, and I thought to myself, this could be my opportunity here in Cape Town to make a life for myself, to get myself a decent job, to start working, to start earning a bit of cash money, baby, and start creating something out of my life. And I spent a good 2 years or so in Cape Town, maybe a little bit longer. Maybe it was about 3 years in Cape Town. And for the first year and a half that I was in Cape Town, I wasn't able to get for myself a decent job. Even though I had just finished university, I had a degree behind me. I did a Bachelor of Journalism and English literature, and I had a fairly good degree. I was still not able to get a job in South Africa, and I ended up working as a barman in Cape Town for about a year and a half. In fact, I had two jobs at the same time. I used to work in an internet cafe. I don't even know if internet cafes still exist on this planet. But I used to work at an internet cafe from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then I would work in a bar from 5 p.m. till about 3 in the morning. Wait, this is the wrong chest. And I did that for about a year and a half, working those two jobs, trying to make as much cash as I could, trying to save up some money so that I could move to England and immigrate and start a new life somewhere else. But I remember after about a year and a half or so, I finally got the opportunity, and that's all cooking now, which is beautiful. I finally got the opportunity to go for a job interview for a real job in Cape Town, and it was actually my best friend's mum that found me this job in the newspaper. Do newspapers even exist these days? I don't even think some of you guys know what a newspaper is. Anyway, my best friend's mum found me this potential job in this newspaper, and I went for the interview. And Cape Town in the summertime is a very, very hot place. It can sometimes get up to 40 degrees Celsius in Cape Town, which is a pretty hot place to live. And I went to this job interview and I got myself into a suit. Do I have anything that I can drop off here? A little bit of glass can go in here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. I put a suit on. I put a nice jacket on. I got ready to go, but it was an incredibly warm summer's day in South Africa. It was probably close to 35 or 36 degrees Celsius, I guess. And I was super nervous because this was the first real job interview that I'd managed to get in like a year and a half of being a barman and an internet cafe guy. So I went for this job interview, and because it was so freaking hot, my friends, I was sweating like a racehorse on that particular day. And I remember going for that job interview with sweat pouring down my face. My underarms were all wet, like around the t-shirt or around my suit shirt. When I took my jacket off, there were these huge sweat marks around my freaking armpits. It was sweat pouring down my face like nobody's business. And I remember sitting down for that interview feeling like I had literally just jumped into a swimming pool or something. And the first thing that I thought to myself was, there's absolutely no ways this job is going to hire this super sweaty ReNDoG. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I must look like an absolute mess. And we had that interview, and I still remember to this day, after all of these years, the person who interviewed me, the first thing they offered me was an ice cold beverage. They sort of looked at me and said, "Can I get you an ice cold Coke or something? You look like you're really hot." And I was like, "Yeah, man, it's very, very warm today. Yes, I'd love an ice cold Coca-Cola." Anyway, ended up getting that job in the end, which was amazing, and I worked there for about 6 months or so before I moved to England. But it was the first real job that I ever got, and I will never ever forget that job interview. And I'll never forget how hot the sun was on that day, how it was burning my face as I was walking from the parking lot to the office where I was going to be interviewed, and how when I sat down in that office, there was just sweat pouring down my body like nobody's business. Oh man, anyway, today's beautiful sun outside, it kind of reminded me of that moment all the way back in the day. Anyway, here we are, guys, back in the Blacksmith Hole. Just dropped everything off from my little mining expedition. And today we are going to be working on something kind of cool. So we've got our beautiful blacksmith facility going on over here, right? We got the auto smelting, the auto fuel additions into the blacksmith area, into our 16 furnace array back there. And we are currently collecting all of the items that we are smelting in this chest over here. Today, I want to work out a way to get the items from there to here, which is what we set up last time. I've done a little bit more work over here. I've got a couple of chests next to each other, normal chests and trap chests, so that they can sit flush next to each other over here. And what I'm thinking is we can get all of the items delivered from our furnaces into these 3 chests, and then we'll do some manual sorting from these 3 chests into these chests. I don't think we need that many chests up here in the blacksmith hole, because we're going to be storing most stuff in the storage hole, right? But up here we do need to sort of sort out, I guess, food stuff that we cook and blocks that we smelt and ores that we cook up and a bunch of other things too that we can cook here in our blacksmith hole. So that's going to be the plan for today, my friends. I think I know what I'm doing. Oh, I moved the chest from out here to in here. I think I've got all the stuff over here that we need here. What we're going to need to start off with is finding a way to get the items from there to here. But not only that, we need to get the items from down here up here so that the items can get sent into these chests via some hoppers, right? ReNDoG's got some plans though for this, my friends. It is going to be sweet. Let me get myself organized here, and then we can work out a beautiful way to transport some items. This day is just getting better and better, Cyberdogs. The sun is now shining through my office window onto my back, and I can feel the sun on my neck. It feels amazing, man. Jeez. Oh, I have missed you, son. It's nice to have you back in my life. Anyway, guys, I've got everything ready to go. And we're going to get technical now. It is going to be sweet. By the way, put an ender chest here in the blacksmith hole. We collected these ender chests last episode, and that's been super useful. But now we need to get focused. I've got a bunch of stuff over here. Droppers, observer blocks, redstone, comparators, repeaters, hoppers, a whole bunch of sweet jazz. And what we're going to do, guys, is figure out a way to get all the items from our furnaces into these chests over here. Now, we've got a couple of challenges to figure out. Number one, how do we get the items from this chest all the way across to that side of the blacksmith hole? Well, I think that's going to be fairly simple, right? I think we'll keep this chest over here as a sort of run-off chest, just in case we smelt a ridiculous amount of items. We don't want our whole system to get clogged up, right? So why don't we keep this chest here, and then maybe what we can do is make a little bit of space here, and what we'll do is start a bit of a hopper chain, okay? So let's get a hopper going down there, and of course we're going to have to get the hoppers to go underneath this cooling system over here, and yeah, that's actually going to unleash some water, unfortunately, so let's block that water off for now. So the hoppers are going to go underneath here, and actually, now that I think about it, this is going to work out really nicely with that water feature. I'll show you why in a moment. And we're going to come all the way here, and it looks like we're probably going to have to take a little bit of a turn in this direction with the hoppers, and then we're going to have to come all the way out the back of the mole hole over here, which is a little bit unfortunate. We're going to have to do a little bit more terraforming here. I think we're going to have to make the blacksmith hole a little bit fatter in this direction, right? Because we're going to need a little bit of space over here. Although we need the hoppers to come out over here, don't we? We've gone a little bit too far. That's okay. We'll make a mess, and we'll clean it up a little bit later on. But there we go. That should be the perfect sort of length for our hopper chain, right? So let's begin our hopper chain here, and we're going to hold shift and right click on the hoppers, and that's going to make them face each other, right? Let's get rid of these blocks so I can show you. You can't really see it from here just yet. Let me go one block behind, but there you go. You can see their little connections are touching each other, or they're facing each other, right? And wherever that little nozzle faces, that's the direction that the hopper is going to send items. And you can determine where the hopper nozzle goes by holding shift when you right click and place your hoppers. Anyway, there we go. We've got a little bit of a hopper pipe going on over here. We should see items flowing through there now. Yes, they are. Great stuff. But we're going to need that pipe to continue on its way in this direction, right? And yeah, this is going to be a little bit tricky. We're going to have to get rid of a whole bunch of stuff here. Oh my goodness, we're just making a complete mess out here. Let's just get rid of that water completely. I've probably destroyed some of the torches around here too. And yeah, we're literally busting into the cave that we made a few episodes ago, making an absolute mess out of the place. That's okay. Let's continue our hopper chain over here, guys. There we go. That's nicely connected. And then the next chain is going to have to go in this direction, right? So let's shift right click over there, and let's make a little bit of space back here for us. And there we go. That should be good. So the hoppers are going to go into that one. Then that one's going to turn in this direction. And then this one is going to have to turn in this direction, I think. So let's just make a little bit of a final section for these hoppers over here. Where do we want the hoppers to go to? I guess the last location for the hopper is going to be over here, right? There we go. And then we can finally finish off that hopper chain like this. Send that hopper going into that one. And let's just make sure all of those nozzles are facing in the right direction. Yes, there we go. Okay, so all the items should be heading into this final hopper over here, which is challenge number 1, right? We've made basically a pipe out of hoppers. which is awesome. That's the easy part for today's technical episode done, guys. Very good. It's a hopper pipe that transports the items from the furnaces to the back of the chests over here. But now comes the tricky part. How do we get the items from the end of the pipe to the top of the chests so that we can feed the chests with the items? The way that we're going to do this is install some hoppers into the back of these chests. And now we got to find a way to get the items to the top of this hopper over here, right? Very, very interesting. Now, we have made some item elevators in this series so far, and every item elevator that we've made looks a little something like this. We've got a pipe of a 3x3 blocks, and what we do is we force the items into the center of the column, right? The center of this pipe, and that forces the items all the way up the column for as high as the column is. That's how we get items from the bottom of the Mines of the Dog into the storage hole. Now, unfortunately, at the back of the Blacksmith Hole, we do not have enough space for that sort of item elevator. So, the ReNDoG has been doing some redstone research, my friends. I know, it's crazy. And I have discovered an item elevator build that is going to blow your freaking minds, my dudes. When I found this build, I was absolutely amazed because it is so simple, so cheap, and it is exactly what we need for the Blacksmith Hole. This is an item elevator that uses droppers and observer blocks, and this is a little bit what it looks like. Looks pretty cool, right? The good thing about this item elevator is that it is literally 1 block wide. So we can fit this into the back of the Blacksmith Hole quite easily. What's also awesome about this item elevator is that it's modular. You can make this item elevator as high as you want, or I think this is the lowest it can go. I think you can go 3 droppers high as the lowest, but you can make this as high as you want, right? And all you need is droppers and observer blocks and a comparator and some repeaters and stuff. Now, the way that this thing works, I don't really understand. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to explain to you how it works. If you're interested in how this thing works, I'm sure you can find this build on Google or on YouTube. Hundreds of people have shown examples of this build, which is how I found it. So fairly easy to find it, but let me show you how it works, right? So what we're going to be doing, this is going to be the end of our item pipe, and the way that it works is that the hopper sends the items into this bottom dropper. That dropper then gets seen by the comparator, which triggers this sticky piston, and this sticky piston sends this observer block up and down into 2 observer blocks that are looking at it, and every time it goes into this position over here, this observer block gets a redstone signal, and it has a bit of redstone on top of it, which sends a signal into that observer block, which sends a signal into that repeater, which triggers that very top dropper over there. What's also happening here, of course, is when this observer goes up to this position, this observer block sees that observer block, they look at each other, and this observer block triggers this dropper, and because this dropper is next to this dropper, it will trigger this dropper, which triggers this dropper, which triggers this dropper, which sends all of the items all the way up to the top of the chain. I think that's how it works. I probably got it a little bit wrong, but as I understand it, that's how the mechanics of this thing works, and it's actually very, very simple to put together. We're going to put it together at the back of the Blacksmith Hole right now, guys. See if I can actually squeeze it in there, but I did want to show you it working, and it is a really awesome, really compact, super cheap item elevator build, and I think we're probably going to be using this a lot in this series. I'm very happy to have found this build, man. It is epic. Well, we've got a couple of challenges over here, guys. Number 1, can the ReNDoG brain actually remember how to make that dropper item elevator? And number 2, can we squeeze this item elevator into this tiny space over here? Oh my goodness. Okay, I tell you what, let's start all the way down here. Oh my goodness, and I've just emptied out that final little dropper there, haven't I? Yeah, good job, Rain. We need a chest or something to put these items in for now. You know what? Let's use a dropper over here. It's a bunch of baked potatoes up in this business, man. Jeez. Yeah, probably shouldn't have connected the pipe when I started working on this build, but that's okay. There we go. We'll keep those in that hopper for now, temporary styles. And let's see if we can install this dropper elevator in this tiny little space over here. I guess what we're going to have to do is push the pipe a little bit back here, and we'll use the wooden platforms to represent where the dropper elevator is going to go. And I guess we're probably going to have to go even further this way, right? We're going to need even even more space in this direction. The reason being is I don't want to be triggering these droppers with redstone, right? So it looks like the observer blocks are going to need to go up this column over here. And that means we might have to do a little bit of reworking over here unless, yeah, we're going to have to push the item elevator block this direction, or at least into this side of the mountain. We're going to have to make the side of our mountain a little bit fatter here too. We're going to have to get rid of all of this here to make a bit of space. But this is where our item elevator is actually going to sit. It's going to be over here, which is, yeah, a little bit scary, to be honest with you. We don't have a lot of space to do this. Let me just clean up a little bit over here so that we can figure out exactly what we're doing. Okay, so now that we've moved the dropper elevator one block this way, we don't have to worry about these hoppers anymore. So that means our observer blocks can go over here. And we're going to start off with our sticky piston down here, right? That's where the sticky piston goes. And next up, what we want to do is have a comparator look in that way. And then we're going to start our dropper chain over here. That's an observer block and not a dropper block. There are the droppers over there. Good stuff. Let's get our dropper installed like that. And then we'll go our second dropper. Do we have space above us? Yes, we do. All right, beautiful. Okay, so far so good, right? The next dropper is going to be going over here, looking at the comparator, right? That's how it goes. Oops, that's not a observer block. There we go. Observer block looking at the comparator, right? Then we need another observer block looking in this direction. So the next observer block is going to be looking in this direction with its butthole facing the dropper chain. Let's get rid of that. And yes, that is the technical term for it. Okay, the butthole of the observer block is looking in that direction. Good stuff. Now we got our droppers going up like so. And then the next challenge is going to be getting another observer block over here looking downwards, right? So we're going to make it look downwards like so. And we can see that arrow has to face that way. That's perfect. Looking really good. Now, next up, what we need to do is get a little bit of redstone on top of that observer block butthole. And then we need to get another observer block on top of that redstone. So let's continue our dropper chain up like this. That's going to be the top of our observer train. Yeah, observer train. Good one, Ren. Dropper chain is what I was trying to say. Wow, Ren, your brain, man. The sun seems to have cooked your brain completely today, man. Anyway, there we go. Another observer block above that redstone. And then we're going to need one more observer block above this observer block with a little bit of redstone on there too. And we'll go one block up here. Final observer block on top of this one, looking downwards. We want to make sure all of these observers are facing the correct way, right? All of those arrows are facing upwards like that. Absolutely perfect. And then all we need to do is install the final bit of a repeater action over here with a slab at the very top and a repeater going from that redstone dust into the final dropper. And that dropper should be spitting the items into another hopper chain? Is that correct? I think we be cooking with gas right now, Cyberdogs. It's unclear until we actually give this a test, but there we go. I've installed the final hoppers above the final dropper in the dropper elevator, which should hopefully spit the items into that hopper, which is then another small hopper pipe taking the items into this final one, which is then going to send the items down these hoppers and into the collection chests over here, right? Okay, so if we've connected this correctly, this should function. All we need to do now is connect the very first hopper pipe that we created over here to our dropper elevator. And if we do this correctly, this should function. Okay, you guys ready for this? Let's drop a bunch of items into this hopper pipe over here. And when we connect up to this with our final hopper, if we've done this correctly, we should hear everything triggering, and we should see items ending up in this bottom chest over here. You guys ready? Hold your frickin' paws, Cyberdog, kaplam! Alright, there we go. Whole bunch of stuff is happening. Redstone is triggering. Things are clicking away. And are items ending up in there? Yes, it's frickin' working. Look at this. It's absolutely working. Oh, that is epic. Okay, I'm actually kind of proud of this, guys. I didn't think I'd be able to squeeze this redstone into this tiny space, but it has been done. And it also hasn't done too much damage to the environment out here. I think we'll easily be able to just extend this mountainside here, right, to cover this up. You won't even know this is back here. And we haven't really done any damage to the blacksmith hole either. We can easily just cover that up with a few blocks and stuff, right? Oh man, guys, this is a glorious freaking day right now. I tell you what, the sunshine outside has somehow made my brain function in a better, I don't know, it's turned my brain on today for some reason, and that's absolutely epic. Check it out, right? We can just sort of hide all of this jazz. Boom, you wouldn't even know that there's redstone behind there. And yeah, this is looking a little bit janky here. We do need to fix up a bunch of stuff, but this is absolutely amazing. I guess what we could do is give our entire system a bit of a test here, right? Let's have a look if this is going to be working the way that we want it to. Let's send some cobblestone in there to be smelted. All of the furnaces are going to turn on. Everything should be automated now, right? All of those furnaces are going to be cooked up, and what we should hear is some stuff going off. There we go. We heard some stuff going off there. Oh, did I break something? Did I just break something? Well, it's clicking away and it's sending stuff in. So I think I might have broken something, but I don't think I broke any redstone. Is this... What is going on right now? That's so weird. Oh, I think it's when the items arrive at 16 at a time, right? There we go. Look, it's arriving. It's arriving. It's working. It's a little bit noisy. I won't lie. It's a little bit noisy, but it's working. Our furnace system is now completely automated. We can cook stuff and then we can just leave. And when we come back 10 minutes later, everything that we need will be in these chests. Everything that we wanted to cook will be in these chests. And that, my friends, is a victory. If I ever did see one, baby, that is awesome. Well, Cyberdog dogs, I gotta tell you, man, I am super happy with today's episode. Very proud of this little bit of redstone that we've installed. I know it's not the most complicated thing in the world. Some of you guys are like, Ren, this is such easy redstone, man. What are you going on about? It may be easy for some of you, man, but for me, it's kind of tricky. Anyway, I'm super happy that it's been done, and all I need to do is sort of fix up the mountainside over here. Unfortunately, what this build has done is close off the path down into the mole hole, but that's something we can figure out later on. We can figure out a different tunnel from the mole hole to get out on this side, and yeah, you know what, guys? The sun is still shining on my back right now. Even though it's going down in Minecraft, it is still shining on my neck. It's beckoning me outside, so I think I'm going to say goodbye for today, and I'm going to go spend a little bit of time outside in the garden. Maybe I'll go for a walk around the town near my house. It's time for the Ren to get out of his house a little bit, man. I've been stuck in here for months on end because the frickin' weather's been so awful, and today is such a beautiful day. I think it's probably better for me to go and spend it outside in nature, get some fresh air up in here. But there we go. Redstone has been covered, looking good, and our blacksmith hole has been automated. Absolutely amazing. Hey guys, listen, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you hit that freaking like button, baby. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you know what to do, man. You smash that subscribe button and you jingle jangle that notification bell so that you can get a notification when the next episode from the series goes live. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. I'm going outside for some fresh air, and I'll probably be spending the rest of the day in the sun. It's going to be epic. Hope you guys have a great day. ReNDoG, signing out.